because it does have an effect on the outside world, and someone
Yo, y'all listening to this shit, yo. Who y'all would call OG SHAQUELLZ? You get what I'm saying, for the Bloods and stuff. He breaks down the whole thing about OG Mac, the origins, and all of that. I never understood why none of the other so-called Bloods, East Coast knockoffs and shit like that. I never understood why they never elaborated on this shit to stand up for their name and whatever the fuck they was trying to be about. You get what I'm saying? Like everybody been always speculating that OG Mac misled and did this and that, but why didn't you all break down the real, you get what I'm saying, the real spiel like SHAQUELLZ is doing. Now I like this. I love this interview right here. This interview is on Chris Gotti's podcast. Chris Gotti is Irv Gotti brother and shit. He got a podcast and he interviewed SHAQUELLZ and stuff. And they not only talk about, the origins of the Bloods and stuff, but they talked about other stuff. So, you know, y'all listen at this, man.
times more than likely calling shots or helping them move from where they move outside on the streets. So where would you want to start? From let's go from the beginning. Like, give me the era when you was running things out here and how that would transpire.
Well, I'll tell you how it all started with me. And I would leave some things out, obviously sure. Incriminating, over. They'll carry that on for 20-something years ago. I said something.
Facts.
But in 1994, I got locked up.
94?
Yeah, for a couple of armed robberies. I was on Rikers Island, facing a lot of time. I was a consistent felony.
Where you from?
I'm from Fort Greene, Brooklyn.
Okay.
Project. So I was on Rikers Island. When I first got there, I went to Queen's House at HCM. I landed at 7 block. Corey King, that you know.
Yeah. Shout out Corey. What up, boy?
Corey King. So we did 7 block. Like majority of the people in the house was Muslim. This is the A side. The B side was mostly a lot of Spanish brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I was with Corey King. He had his on his own phone. Everything was situated. When I came in, the red carpet was rolled out for me. That's like my little brother. I know him from like 12 years old. So we go back forever.
Right.
Situation happening there, I don't want to expound on that because it's really irrelevant, but
sure.
The Muslims and one of them getting shipped out, go to the hospital, and I got into an incident with the riot squad, Captain Bailey.
Yo, whoever tuned in, this is who y'all would call OG SHAQUELLZ for the Bloods and stuff. He elaborates and breaks everything down from the origins of the Bloods to OG Mac until what he's doing like in his latter days and stuff. So this is SHAQUELLZ and stuff who y'all be hearing about dealing with the Bloods and stuff. So he breaks this shit down perfect. Cause I never understood that shit. And you got all these other slob motherfuckers out here and shit that never broke the story down and this and that. Cause guess what? They didn't want to let y'all know that, like, yo, OG Mac false led us and this and that. So we out here jacking some bullshit and this and that. So instead of us correcting our shit and getting our shit sanctioning shit, we just still ran out here and jacked such and such. So that's why motherfuckers don't break the story down. So you all always heard about OG Mac and this and that. And you hear somewhat bits and pieces of the stories and shit by Corey King and, other YouTubers and stuff. But SHAQUELLZ, OG SHAQUELLZ and stuff, he really breaks this shit down like it's supposed to be broken down,
Learned later became a warden Bailey. So I got broke up real bad. I came back to Rikers Island. So I started going to court. So I started hearing about blood, right?
Yeah.
In the open, like, I be hearing little stories from the sideline. They're hustling. Yeah, the Bloods try to do in 1B, which is like lockdown.
Yeah. This is all on Rikers Island.
Yeah. So I'm like, you talking about California Bloods?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, nah, they did the blood. They get the red bandana and everything.
Can I ask a question before you finish? How old are you?
At that time, I was 28.
28. Okay.
So I'm like, wow. I never heard that. I was on Rikers Island, New York in general.
Right.
I did know some Crips though that was uptown in Harlem, even before that, like 93, 92.
Career.
So I go like a few court trips. I never seen a blood yet. And the house that I was in didn't allow gang members. It was ran by Ty Tyler from Queen.
Yeah.
So that's
Ty, what up, buddy?
Shout out Ty Tyler, Floyd, rest of them. Lonnie Mack was there, you know. So I'm in their house, so I'm like, I ain't never seen no blood or nothing. So one day I go to court, I see this real awesome brother, bandana around his head, bandana in his pocket. That must be one of them bloods right there. Yeah. We was in the book.
That's a different sight for us over here.
So we in full restraint. His name was T. Quan. We in full restraint. I said, you one of them bloods they be talking about? Like, yeah, well, what's up? And I'm just asking, bro. Yeah. It's interesting. Are you from New York or are you from LA or something? I said, no, I'm from New York, from Brooklyn. I said, so bloods is from Brooklyn? He said, no, bloods from all over, far, bro. I said, yeah, I left the streets. I ain't never see a blood out there. Right. I'm flabbergasted about it. You got
Yeah, I heard SHAQUELLZ and shit. Shit, he got down surprised and shocked too. What? Bloods over here in the East Coast? What? But guess what though? He still participated in the knockoff.
And I never heard of them. And they're not in the streets at the time, so I wouldn't have heard about it anyway, right? So I had a little conversation with him. I wasn't interested in anything. Time go on. I started getting a lot of stuff going on, like a lot of Latin brothers that was cutting a lot of black people. And
Cubans?
No, not Cubans. But you know, it's like they might have started with one thing in mind, one objective in mind. Yeah. Fight against oppression. Then they turn around to be the oppressor and they get too big in numbers for hard to control them, right? Right. So I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. Brothers getting cut. And I ain't talking about just black people, it's Spanish brothers out of neutral getting cut too. Yeah. Taking advantage of. You go into a house that's either ran by Latin Kings or Nietas, and they got things locked down and they be trying to pressure you to get drugs and all type of stuff. I wasn't going through none of that. CK wasn't going through none of that. Yeah. But those are the ones that turn blood anyway, those that wasn't going through it. People might say, quote unquote, people join bloods for protection. Maybe in some situations, maybe in Chicago, California, and even maybe in New York, because you go to school, it's predominantly Crips, you might want to turn Crip, or you school predominantly blood, you might want to turn blood. But on Rikers Island, you can't join for protection because once you join blood, you'd have brought on more beef than you ever had in your life. Right. And we outnumbered our gun like 30 to 1. So I wasn't interested at first, but I started seeing a lot of brothers get hurt. Like, man, that's like, man. So it wasn't until a brother named Killer Kev came out from upstate that was blood. And he told me, he confided me on blood, you know, I've been blood since 90. You know, this is what we're about. So we started breaking it down to me. Then it started sounding more like revolutionary. So it got my attention now. I'm like, wow, I like that. I like the sound of that, man. But I got a lot of Spanish people I mess with. My grandfather's from Puerto Rico.
So you all heard it. Killer Kev, aka KK, brought him home.
Okay. So, you know, that's where the dark skin comes from. But I don't want to go against my people.
But Africans, you know, they took over Puerto Rico. That's what it was, you know, that's what it was over there. Right. So you're going to have it in you.
So when he had me so intrigued by it, I like, you know what? I waste a lot of time anyway, man. What I got to lose, man. Sign me up. He said, I've got to give you an oath, got to teach you some things, this and the third. Usually the standards where you got to put some work in. But if you already had a quote unquote name for yourself, you have to do all that. Right. So he wanted to give me a little ceremony. I found out it was actually real people's house that was blood I never even knew about. So a little ceremony and I turned blood. The first incident got into was with a guy named Drama, rest in Bronx. That was CK man. I had an issue with the Spanish cat from 7th block. He moved down to 2 block. And we was on the company one day, and I was just waking up. Matter of fact, our brother Troy woke me up. Yo, man, it's got to be came down the block. A CK man, he got an issue with the Spanish brother from 7th block. He sent word over here to 2 block.
Yo, salute, salute, man, for you know, tapping in and showing support and stuff. For all the you know, months you've been supporting. Salute to you.
The brothers in the back, there's a lot of Dominicans back in Luke, and I'm a Dominican, so my man Julio and them, so they like everybody started coming to the front of the company, and it's got crazy. So going on it, like, yo, listen, man, we're gonna hold them down. So that turned to a whole big situation, man. So at this time, it's still the beginning stages of blood. So back to the blood situation, at the time it was non-trade gangsters.
Non-trade.
Like, and we was the only hood on the island. There was no other hood at the time. And when, at the time, where the name non-trade came was just New York Blood. They had no real concept. Little did we know that the guy who formerly used to call OG Mac, on Omar now, he had really no concept of blood.
Yo, this is what I've been arguing for the longest time. He ready to break this shit down. Yo, perfect. OG Mac goddamn misled all these motherfuckers on the East Coast thinking they were blood, real West Coast Bloods and stuff.
Like, he just lied to everybody, had us believing that we had a connection with California and we on board, they on board.
He wasn't blood.
And we wasn't. Right? We wasn't even really official in California eyes. But Mac had us believe that.
Yeah. So he sold that as, look, this is what
he's from LA, him and his brother, and they got tied over there, and they came to New York, they tried to set up.
So y'all heard it right. So this is what my argument is the whole time, my rebuttal. When y'all learned that about OG Mac and all of that shit and the portrayal and stuff, why the fuck y'all didn't steer away from the Bloods and stuff and jack another name or whatever? Y'all to this day still repping that same name and stuff. And then how you gonna kick somebody out the whip that started something that you all are jacking? You get what I'm saying?
Shot Miss Robin and he got locked up. So, you know, he put together an album because of the oppression against Black and neutral Latinos, so bought into it. Right. So it was all banging non-trade, whatever. They all was in the spot. Went out, that's the thing. Like, we all went out. That's okay. Got shipped out the door. But time went on, started growing a little bit. Still with outnumbered, outgunned. I'm talking about like 30 to 1.
What year now?
Still like early 95, man.
95.
Outnumbered, outgunned. Right, by Latin Kings and Nietas. My only thing with the good standards I had with Latin King, from being up north, Collins in 1985, always mentioned other cities there. So a lot of the older kings moving. So they would tell the younger kings, yo, John Curly off limits, man, like good brother, man. If he in the building, man, work with him. And that's sort of different buildings. That's the reason why the kings wouldn't get involved when I'm in a particular building, because when I'm there, they just hands off on blood. Right. Nietas is a different story. I know for like everybody all this like countryside, they didn't even care. A lot of them were racist, so they didn't care. So a lot of my conflict came with them. But on my whole time on the island, I did put a lot of work in. I don't want to go too specific, but the only situation I had that came my way was the Nietas.
They came at you.
Did they? This guy named Lil Mario, he put something one day on YouTube, story about how OG.
Yo, salute to Lil Mario. That's my guy right there. Y'all might be seeing him in my comments at times and stuff. You all go subscribe to Lil Mario. So SHAQUELLZ speaking on Lil Mario right now. So salute Lil Mario. Y'all go subscribe to Lil Mario.
Alcohol got jumped by the net. He put a little humor into it, but he didn't do it right for to do it to try to get some clout on the story. And he told it accurately. So what happened was, that's the first time I've been in a situation where I felt that, oh man, they got me. I'm done off now. I was in C73, I just came from HDM. So I'm walking around the building, I got red bandanas on and everything, so they watching me, their eyes on me. Yo, this guy just came in the building, I think it's OG SHAQUELLZ. You know, he touched the manito, which is brother in Spanish, whatever. Yeah. So they had like a green light on. Yeah. One day I go to the yard, I had snitched a friend of mine, and I was going to look for him in the yard. I get out there, it's like 30 meters. And they doing their little ceremony, got their hands crossing the head, they chanting. I'm like,
Part 2 coming. No, fuck it. We're gonna keep this shit rolling.
Right. But I didn't think about it. But like, look, there's 7 black people out there. Me and 6 other black people.
blacks, yeah.
But it's like 12 Latin kings. So I'm walking around the yard and they're the first didn't say nothing. Now you got this guy Kojak in the window, supposed to be in the head. Yet he's speaking to him in Spanish about what they need to do to me. So I get to the Latin kings, they stop me. They're like, yo, you good? Like, yeah, I'm good. Are you holding? Like, yeah, I'm up. Yo, be careful. They're talking about you right now in the Spanish window. So, at one point, they might try to move on.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, look. So I kept on walking. So as I walk around, I'm going back toward the area. A guy that was in front of me told him, yo, you can't come over here, go the other way. He told me to go the other way. Me, I just kept walking. But now they say, oh, you can't come through here. So they start spreading like